welcome to another episode of Literary Gladiators, the show where we discuss and debate literature in all of its forms. If it's written work, it's game. Let's meet the panel.
Hi, I'm Larry.
I'm Jan. Tara.
And I'm Josh. And today we are going to be going over a play. The play that we are going to be discussing is Amedee by Eugene Ionesco. And I think if you've watched at least our two other discussions, The Bald Soprano and Rhinoceros by Ionesco, you can tell that I am an enthusiast. I did also go over the lesson on my own, and I was not a huge fan of that work. But the discussion starter that I have for this is Amedee's full title is actually Amedee, or How to Get Rid of It, and follows the 45-year-old title character and his wife, Madeline. He is a playwright, and she is a switchboard operator, and they both work from home. They also have a corpse in their bedroom that is growing in size, and mushrooms are coming out of it as well. My discussion starter is, do you believe the corpse is a motif or representative of something, and if so, what?
I think it is a representative of something, and I can't quite put my finger on what it is. Mm-hmm. It's something bad. I know that, and I think that I was trying to think about what it is throughout reading it, and ultimately I think it might be his wife, like her constant putting him down and domineering nature in the way that she's always like after him and cutting him down at every turn, and then he finally gets away from her, and then he feels like he could just like go anywhere and leaves. So that's, to me, that's what it ultimately kind of like decided that I think it is. I think it's just her terribleness to him and him getting away from it in the end.
How do you see it, Jan and Tara? Because I have my thought that I'm constantly working at, but I want to hear it from you guys first.
Well, what I took was, firstly, let me say I did laugh at quite a few parts.
And I think that's Ionesco's known for doing that.
Yes, the corpse was cracking, it was growing, its head went out the window at one point, the rest of its body grew out into the living room. The mushrooms to me was, at first I didn't think a whole lot about the mushrooms other than they lived in a damp, moldy apartment. And then I was thinking about the mushrooms, I was thinking about the fact that she had a switchboard in her living room. She was a switchboard operator, mm-hmm. and her husband was, I guess, a wannabe playwright. I don't know. He couldn't get past writing one line, and there were mushrooms growing everywhere. And I hate to rush right through to the end, but let's just put it this way. Someone in the end is yelling, "It's the mushrooms. It's all about the mushrooms." So mm-hmm. my thought was, looking back at the entire play from that point, was maybe the whole play was the two of them on a mushroom trip. They were hallucinating this corpse because they were consuming all the mushrooms that were growing in the damp apartment. So it's all about the mushrooms.
It's definitely psychedelic, man. This play is a trip.
Mushrooms were poisonous.
Ionesco's a beatnik, because this is a 50s play.
That's exactly what I was thinking, right?
Tara?
I thought, like, each thing had, like, a symbolism for it, like, the mushrooms, especially being poisonous, maybe it was a reflection of their actual relationship, and the corpse just being there, like Larry said, maybe is all has to do with, like, the wife and everything else, and I just think that, the mushrooms had a big part of it, and maybe it's not the symbolism that he said. Maybe it's the fact that maybe they actually did kill somebody, and because like the part where the mailman came and they convinced him that they actually got the wrong address, that part had me cracking up because I thought it was hilarious. Like, wait, you just convinced someone it was at the right dress and not the, like, I would like to see that actually played out because that's just funny. But like, I really think that I think they might have killed someone, and that's their guilt because it's growing and getting
like
bigger
guilt
and
too. Yeah, that's what I was thinking for a long time.
like they're like especially like I'm trying to think of like what would like the mushrooms be because is it punishment though? Maybe that's the punishment because they're poisonous. They're breathing that in.
She the woman Madeline, she's like she loves these mushrooms. He's ambivalent toward them. He doesn't care. But she's like, you know, if you accidentally steps on one or knocks one over, she's like, oh no, look what you did. You're ruining the mushrooms. And then at the end, she's like, come back for the mushrooms. You know, and it's like,
I think
he doesn't care about the mushrooms.
What was it that you? Because I'm at the point where it's the corpse is representative of their guilt, and I would say both of them for their own reasons.
Shame. I think it's shame, though. I think it's shame. Like she's constantly putting them down, and I think that's what makes the corpse grow. And it's because she's ashamed of him, or
I think they're both shameful, and I think that they're both ashamed. I mean, I think he's ashamed of himself too, but he just doesn't want to admit it.
Well, no, he's got no problem admitting it. As far as I saw, like he's down on himself. He's like
down, like
but he does it through denial.
Yeah,
because I would say the on pages 36 and 37, the clearest reason we get to why we're in this predicament is it was Amedee killed the man that became the corpse because he felt that his wife was having an affair. And that could probably be the evidence as to why she loves the mushrooms, is there's something that attracted her to this man. She said, when this was coming about, she said, after a brief silence, as he points out, or perhaps you could still have gone to the police station the next day after the murder and told them you'd kill him in a fit of anger out of jealousy. After all, it would have been perfectly true. You always said you thought he was my lover, and I never denied it. So,
yeah, and that goes back to that first scene too, when he's like, you don't know what's in the other room. And he's like constantly looking because he's like, when is she going to come out of there? And what, you know, and I hate them being together and that kind of thing. And you're thinking, oh, maybe this has something to do with an affair or something. But then you find out it's a dead body and everything else. But then, you know, right after that, he's like, well, that's not who it was. It was a baby. Because it's an absurd play. You know, but he's like, so they can't even definitively say who this dead body belongs to.
Yeah, but I think that they never did.
No.
But I think that's that's the closest we get, and it seems like it's the most because it seems like it would be the most clearest answer that we can get from it, because he does say he takes on a position of denial. Oh, is that why I killed him? I'd forgotten, and then she called him a scatterbrain, saying as though anyone could forget a thing like that. And as if it was a crime of passion, you wouldn't have had any trouble. They'd have given you some little statement to sign, and they'd then let you go free. The statement would have been stuffed into a file. It would all be over and done with. The whole affair would have been forgotten ages ago. And Amedee said, but as it is, we're still talking about it. Poor young fellow, and yes, I believe I remember. He had come to pay us a visit. Had I seen him before, was it the first time he'd come to the flat?
Yeah, so right there, you're like already, the story's already changing. Because, you know, at first, it's about him thinking that it's a lover, but then he doesn't even know who this guy is, and at that point, it's the first time he's met him. So how can both of those things be true?
I mean, that was his assumption going in, and it didn't seem like she did anything to turn him away from that way of thinking.
But is that not the point where he had said it might have been a woman? Maybe I killed a woman and brought her back here, and the wife berated him for that. You fool! It's a man. You know that. Like they were just going through different scenarios of who it was, how it came to be in their flat in that room. And so they argued back and forth for a few minutes over that.
And she wants no responsibility for it at all. She's like, you can't blame me for this. This isn't my doing.
But then she didn't report it, so she's a sex ray after the fact.
Yeah,
But
see, to me, I think it might be the part of him. It's a part of Amedee that she is constantly cutting away at. Is like she's killing him by constantly, being the way she is toward him, which is totally like we agree, right? Like she's really not nice to this guy at all.
I think that both of them seem to be extremities of traditional stereotypes between husband and wife. That he is a like he is bumbling and oblivious, whereas she is domineering and indecisive, which of course they're stereotypes, so you can't apply. But unless you watch just about any commercial where just any television commercial that you see that the husband is like a stupid idiot and the woman is trying to get him out of his ignorance or whatnot.
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
Yes, I see that.
She's really going at him like hard, and I think that she like this abuse that he's taking from her has reduced him to this kind of bumbling
Idiot.
But the thing is she was supporting them with this job as, what was it again? I'm sorry.
A switchboard operator.
A switchboard operator. Thank you. The right word wasn't coming to me. She was the sole breadwinner of the two of them, and they were living off mushrooms.
She had a more structured job. And I could understand that being an aspiring writer myself, it does take a lot of motivation and discipline in order to get into getting to where you need to go in writing.
Yeah.
So I could understand where it's challenging to be a writer, or in his case, a playwright. Like, people would say you just have to, like, you can type anything up, and that is productive to what you're trying to do. But I would say it was more so, it seemed like he was having the tougher time as a writer, but you would think the way that they approached it, he seemed to have the easier profession, when it's still debatable.
Well, no, it's because of the fact that she won't lay off him. She's constantly at his neck, at his throat. Everything he does is wrong. Everything he does is going to get a word and this and that. And I think he can't work like that. And also, it's also in that first scene when she's in a room with this corpse, who I'm arguing right now is actually the part of him that she was attracted to, but is also killing, because she, whatever reason, she's just that kind of person, and she is killing him, and that is preventing him from being able to work because he's so distracted. Oh, what is she doing? When is she going to come out of there? When is she going to leave him alone? And then she finally does. And when are you going to close his eyes? She's constantly telling him, right? He's got to close his eyes, and I think that's because that's his inner light and that glow that's coming out of that room. That's all. That's part of him. And then in the end, what does he do? He wraps himself up with this corpse, and then flies away. I think it's because it's part of him.
I took that more of the fact that he was, because it was getting to the point where he was going to need to turn himself in, or at least turn in the fact that he was carrying a corpse, but he ended up floating away in denial or cowardice, because he himself couldn't express that. He just didn't have it physically to fess up to that.
I think it's that he didn't have it in him to stay with her anymore, and he just had to go on. And he's responsible because he's married to her, so he's talking about, I'm sorry, I can't help it, I can't. And it's just, He just can't be with her. He just can't do it.
I mean, it's interesting the way that he has different people depicted. I think the younger couple seems to have more with them. Then you have the man and the woman that are overseeing from the window, and the man from that they in the script form it was man and woman, but in actuality their names, or they say that their names. Hers is Julie, and his is Eugene.
Yeah, but there's just man and woman in the.
Yes, but I think that there's speculation that he inserted himself into that play as
the man?
As the man, because they are foreseeing everything, and you see them taking sides too.
Yeah. And whose side does he take?
I want to, because the interesting thing is that he wrote two different Act 3s.
Yeah, I know, which makes it a little jumbled in my head.
Yes, it really, because there were some attributes that were the same, and then there were some, because the one version didn't have the bartender. The second one, because he felt that the second one might be more accessible.
Yeah, but the second one would have made no sense. Like, why are they showing up in the apartment? That doesn't add up.
No,
but then they say, well, it's all going to be, like, weird and different, but then they're all at the same window. It's like, that would not work. Like, I don't think, that's another thing I wanted to talk about, is I don't think this thing is ever meant to actually be a stage production. I think it's meant to be read like a novel.
I think that Ionesco thought otherwise.
You think so?
Because he really had it, the way that he laid it out, it seemed like...
But that second, third act makes no sense at all. Like, I know he's an absurdist and all, but why, you wouldn't even know who the soldier was. You wouldn't even know. It's like all of a sudden the soldier and this prostitute show up in their apartment. Like, that would if you actually staged it that way, it wouldn't make any sense at all. It would just be like, who are these people now? Why are they on the stage? Whereas in the first third act, you know where they are, because you see the soldier get thrown out of the bar and he's calling for the prostitute. He's in love with this prostitute. You know a lot more about those other characters.
The first one does make more sense. The second one was put together out of convenience.
See,
in the stage sense.
Yeah, but it doesn't make sense.
Well, he did give different stage direction before that one.
Yes, I mean I prefer. I thought the first one was better too.
Yes.
But I'm just saying that's why he did the second one. Not that it makes sense, but
I don't know. Because again, like why? Because you had to build another set.
It was more so he didn't want to. It would be easier for them to transition. From
there is no transition, though. It's just an absurd, like, all of a sudden we're looking out a window. She's looking out the same window, but the light's getting more intense. I mean, like, how are you going to even do all that? I think this is meant to be on the imagination. I don't know. There's no version of it available. You can't see it performed anywhere.
Not right now.
Well, yeah, no, not right now. No, I don't know. I'd be interested to know if it was ever actually put on. And if
yes,
so,
it was.
how? Was it really?
Yes.
Which ending did they use?
They used all different ones. I mean, there were probably multiple productions to it.
I don't know. No, I don't know.
But yeah, I would say that, and there was also, I think, significance to why his shoes dropped off.
That's what I was going to ask, what you thought of that. Because the shoes were dropping one at a time.
I thought that based on my theory about him floating away in denial and cowardice, I felt that without the shoes there would be no assertion to where he was going or any sense of direction, because just imagine being thrown out in the middle of nowhere. Let's say you're in the middle of a park and it's a bit like hilly and there's stones on the ground and you have bare feet, or you're not wearing shoes. How would that feel next to wearing shoes?
Okay. Oh wow! Ouch.
then I think he
blood.
dropped his hat and cigarettes as well. Definitely.
Yeah, the
Yes,
cigarettes.
That's right, and they were handing those out, right?
Yes.
Yeah, the police, because they got called. The police got called. I'll let the police get the benefit.
Yes, that's right. And I thought that scene was funny.
You know, it was funny. And then the cops started handing out the like the whole thing was so. It's a bizarre. I mean, it's Ionesco, of course. It's crazy and
Yes.
bizarre.
How would you guys answer that question as far as the shoes?
I don't have an answer.
Ouch.
Mm.
That's all.
Why
Lot of
the
blood.
significance of the...
Cause like, look, if you're gonna walk up a hill with rocks, with no shoes, or with Jan's wearing, that'll be ouchy.
You know, it's not saying he went anywhere that... Meaning, all we know is that he floated away.
They don't need
know.
shoes.
But
Where we're going, we don't need shoes.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking like, actually physically walking on there. That's how I took it.
Alrighty then. Do we have any final thoughts?
I don't think so. I think he's better off.
Mhm. Got her.
Yeah.
I think they're probably both better off without
Each
one
other.
another.
Mhm.
Uh,
Not really good for each other at all.
No, it wasn't working.
but I think it also touches upon the absurdities of husbands and wives and the flaws that each of them have. And I think Ionesco really builds upon that and puts him in a sketchy situation like that of a corpse, or with that of throwing a corpse in the perspective, and whether or not marriage is even necessary from his mind.
I don't know if that one was.
I mean, I think all of them, like the man and the woman looking out from the window, they were getting by, but all we know is what their commentary on what was going on.
Yeah.
And he breaks fourth
Yes.
wall saying that this is the end of the play.
Yeah.
So that was pretty. He knows what he was
He
getting
knows what
at.
he's doing.
Yeah, I don't know. That's the other thing too. Is there's something about the juxtaposition with the soldier and the prostitute. There's something going on there too. I think And then, but I don't know what. Don't ask me what. But there's something. There's a reason why he chose to make them a soldier and a prostitute that are commenting on it as well. Like there's something being said there about man and woman together. I don't know what it is exactly, but there's something to it.
Mm-hmm.
There's no accident.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know why though. Sorry, maybe I shouldn't have even brought it up because I have nothing to say about it.
I mean, their presence in there was not. I mean, up until
Random.
aside from, and then the Amedee 2 and Madeline 2.
Yeah,
That
that
just-
whole part.
Yeah,
That
that
really
was-
just.
what the hell?
Yeah, it really didn't. I didn't really find much sense into that. I mean, I know
Well,
it doesn't make sense, but
If it was anything, it just kind of like, here's him, is trying to find beauty in the world, and she's just like, no, it's all crap. Everything sucks. It's all miserable, and then by the end of it, that's the way he sees the world too.
Mm.
So that's why I think he just wants to get away from her, but he doesn't even know it because he's so beaten down.
already done. How would we rate this? 0 to 5 stars, half stars permitted. Larry?
I go 3 stars on this one. I thought it was pretty good. I liked it better than I liked the Bald Soprano, but not as much as I like Rhinoceros, so I'd say 3.
Jen?
I'm gonna have a hard time rating this. I enjoyed it. The thing is there's really no definitive answer as to what this play was about. It was well written. I would like to have had a good answer at the end as to what this was all about.
Can you tell me what Seinfeld was about?
Nothing.
What?
Seinfeld.
Seinfeld? No, absolutely, it was about nothing.
Show about nothing.
It was a great show, though.
Yeah.
I was not a fan. I thought it was overrated.
I'll go with 2 3/4. Can I do 3/4 or only a half? All right, 2.5.
Okay.
I got a kick out of it. I really did. Yeah. That'll do.
Okay.
Although 3 stars. Not quite a 2, down to 2, but not quite a full 3. A low 3 stars. I don't know.
I'm giving it 4 stars. I did not like it as much as I liked The Bald Soprano and Rhinoceros. I liked it far better than The Lesson. And I felt that this was more... I felt that it was a bit more... Like, the other ones were just... they were just clearly absurd, and I could definitely tell what Ionesco's diction was. Here it was a bit more... The structure was a little bit more... It had a bit more... I don't like to use... I don't want to use the word traditional, but it felt more like it was in some form of cutout. It was still really good, and I think that it was... it was interesting to see what he was trying to get at, and then there were just areas that that boggled my mind some as far as making sense into it, but it was still a really good. I still think I still really enjoyed reading this play.
Mm-hmm. It was a fun
Yeah,
read.
it was fun.
It was, and
Enjoyment was like it was a 4-star enjoyment.
okay. Yeah, and I don't think it doesn't. I guess it didn't. I guess you could say it reflected him. I felt. I mean, I just enjoyed The Bald Soprano and Rhinoceros better as far as what he has to offer is concerned, and it's just interesting his approach to absurdity because he's a master at it. If you are interested in reading this and 2 of his other plays, here is my copy. I have, this also includes The New Tenant and Victims of Duty.
That's the same collection that I got it from, except I got mine on the Kindle. So it was
Yeah.
available on Kindle,
Yeah,
that
it's on
same
available
collection.
and it's cheaper. Like I think that one was $2.99 or $1.99.
Yeah.
That's often the case, I would say.
Yeah.
But I want to thank you for tuning in to this discussion, and I hope you check out some more discussions here on our channel. Be sure to join us next time on another episode of Literary Gladiators. For now, keep reading.